What? Ah, there I am. All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. If it's Sunday and you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. There's a lot of people here, and we got the coffee cup in. I ordered my own sample. There's the JeffMara coffee, one of them actually. And I'm wondering, there's some noise in the background coming from a dryer. I wonder if you guys can hear that or not. If you can, let me know, and we'll get it turned off for you guys. And there's a bunch of you guys here already, so that's awesome. All right, so Merlin is here as well, and I hope we get some other people in line because it's more fun when we have more people share, right? We had a really busy one last week, or maybe the last couple weeks. I mean, last week, not only did I not read any news, we went overtime like 30 minutes. So Merlin is here. Let's get Merlin in and see what he's up to. Nope, nope, nope. No noise. All right, so they're not hearing any noise, so that's good. And my wife today mixed a little bit of cardamom with coffee. I don't know if you haven't had it before, you should try it. It's pretty cool. Hi, Merlin.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Does it work? Okay, good.
Yes, sir. Just trying to set down my coffee cup.
I am going to be doing, the 3-card reading.
Mm-hmm. What? Can you repeat that again? I didn't catch that.
Yeah. A 3-card, just the standard 3 piles, like you pick 1, 2, or 3, and I'll do a clarification card with the angel deck.
So you're going back to, because the last time you did, I thought like something for the rest of the month, or
yeah, that was for rest of November. That was a fairy oracle card for rest of November, and
right.
it was reflection about mirrors and about how we see the world. Kind of co-creates our reality. I think it was the last time.
So you're going.
For rest of November.
So you are going back to pick pick pile 1, 2, and 3. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I've already did November with a fairy oracle, and like I still do weekly tarot cards. Even if I do like a monthly fairy card for the rest of the month, I will still do weekly because monthly energy is like the overall theme of the month, or for the rest of the month. Now weekly, it's different than the whole entire month. That's how I differentiate it. I do it that way.
All right. Well, I've got a famous psychic. I had him on a long time ago, Robert Lindsay something. I can't remember his name, but I have him booked for the very end of December, and he's going to give me his predictions for 2023. And I don't know if you were here last year, but we didn't get very many predictions. And hopefully we can have a better one this year. And I need to go back and review what people said, but I had people review last year. Where people come in on the show, on the live show, and say, this is my prediction for 2022. So we'll check those, and then maybe we can have a bunch of people pop in this year and give their 2023 prediction. So then we can check it off at 2024.
Is Robert Lindsay the person that has something about a YouTube channel like Believe or something like that? Are we talking about the same person?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm unaware of what his YouTube.
Or My Side of a Crystal Ball. Because I think I follow that guy. I'm
Maybe.
not sure. So,
he's Canadian.
But yeah, for this, I was able to, I don't know, call it channeling or whatever. I'm not one of those people that hear messages and translates in real time. That's not me.
Right.
I'm somebody I work on knowing and intuition basically.
Right.
For me. I don't think I have that type of ability to be able to decipher messages. For me, it's just a knowing. I was able to predict pretty much whenever Russia invaded finally Ukraine, I was preparing people. I did that for the I was a live stream for Utopia Magic. That occasionally I do tarot readings over there sometimes, and I was able to do that. And I'm not claiming any credit. I like I said, everyone has the ability to do these things, but it's what they lack, I believe, is belief in themselves ultimately.
Right.
That's what I believe.
And his name, I had to look it up on my text because from his, I don't know if you'd say his agent or whatever, but it's Robert Lindsay Milne or Milne, M-I-L-N-E.
That sounds familiar. It sounds very familiar. For sure.
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you if you have time after your live stream, maybe check it out, see if it is My Side of the Crystal Ball, because I think that might be him. I'm not sure.
It's his channel is called My Side the Crystal Ball.
Yes, that's what the channel I'm thinking of is called. I'm not sure if it's the same guy though you're referring to.
All right. Well, now you are going to do piles one. You're gonna be able to pick 1, 2, and 3.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. All right. So for those of you who are there, he's going to give a group reading. You can choose pile 1, 2, or 3. So now it's time to make that choice while he's getting ready, and then that will be your reading number. And even if you're not here live, you can still do it as well. And I checked real quick, and that is him. My Side of the Crystal Ball.
I knew it. It sounded very familiar.
Right.
Yeah. A friend of mine is good friends with him, I believe. That's awesome. That's very cool. Okay. So for initially, just for how I do the piles, everybody is at first I just draw 3 from the top, and then after that, for clarification, when I'm shuffling, whatever card falls out, that's what I'll assign to the different piles. So 1, 2, and 3.
All right, there's a lot of 3s today. So 3 looks like the most popular number.
Yeah, like I said, I have 2 phones, so for the first time, I'm looking at the live stream chat too. So that's very interesting. So I had to get a new phone because the charging port and the one I'm talking to you on, it's not very reliable, and I just got that because I know it's going to go kaput sometime. So I'm prepared for that. So I got a phone. Now I lost my laptop; it broke, so I'm no longer. I was able to live stream on YouTube, even though with that, but when you're on mobile, there we go. When you're on mobile, it's different because you have to have like a certain amount of subs and stuff to go live. So,
well, I'm pretty sure you can live stream from your phone, like your mobile, straight into YouTube. Is that what you're saying? You tried and you're having problems, or what?
Well, their notification is you have to have like 1,000 subs or something like that, in order to live stream on your mobile device. But you can live stream. Yeah, you can live stream all day long on PC or your laptop. It's just their rules. I don't know why that is, but it's weird. But it's not a problem because I'm gonna get a laptop soon anyway, so it's cool. So I'll be able to live stream there. So it's
maybe
fun.
Well, Black Friday's almost here, so maybe you can find an amazing deal.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is, isn't it? See, I'm trapped in my head. I just don't keep up with dates anymore. That one wanted to come out. Okay.
There's another one. So today you're a little bit different because I see you're looking more where you're waiting for ones that actually fall out. Other times I've seen them stick out a little bit.
Yeah. I look for signs. Like for me, it's either they fall out or they just flip upside right. You know what I mean? They flip upside right opposite the rest of the deck, showing me at least personally with me. Those are the cues I'll look for. Or sometimes they even just kind of one just nudges completely almost all the way out of the deck. And it's like, here you go, type of thing. You know what I mean? So I just go with it.
It's telling you,
to be honest,
It's telling you,
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Merlin, I'm
honest.
here.
Like,
Pick me.
exactly. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, even though I know the unseen world's real, I've proven it to myself. That's why I like to go live on Facebook with the ghost box. And I pick up different reactions in real time. But it does take like 30 minutes sometimes for them. I feel like they have to build up energy, speak, because it's so hard, I believe, to talk in the physical world without a body, a voice box. So you know what I mean. So they can manipulate the radio waves depending on how fast the stations are going. So they're able to do that and affect different types of electronic as well. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Drum roll. All right. So if you pick pile one right here, you got the 5 of Watcher, which is also the 5 of Cups. Okay, so that's like almost like you're crying over spilt milk. You're not seeing the positive that you still have. It says things not turning out the way you hope. Seeing the positive, you're not seeing the positive in the situation. Crying over spilt milk is what this says for you guys. 5 of Cups. The clarification with this, guys, is the Hermit in reverse, right? That's what we got. So for me, that's a whatever the phrase is, you know what I mean. That's just pointing and indicating that you need to come out. You don't need to be the hermit. You need to quit crying over your spilt milk and come out of your shell, get back in the world, because you can't keep looking at the negative. You're never going to progress anywhere if you keep focusing on the things you don't have and how bad certain situations are when you're completely ignoring the good over here. That's what this is indicating. It lines up perfect. Now, for pile 2, guys, pile 2, you got the 8 of Air in the reverse, which is the 8 of Swords, right? So in traditional tarot, there's a woman that's blindfolded, right? She's blindfolded, she's tied, but she's surrounded by her escape. She's got swords all around her. She can use that to cut the blindfold and the ropes that she's being, trapped by. And it's her own doubt. So with this in reverse, that's very good. That means that you see that you are the source of your freedom, or the source of moving forward in your life. You are the key. You see that now. You're realizing that. Now, the confirmation card for that is the 9 of Wands.
Merlin, it's harder to hear you.
Okay, let me turn off the Wi-Fi on this. Okay, what did you last hear? Can you hear me?
Now I can, yeah. Maybe you need to start over.
What did you last? Okay, so the 8 of Swords, or the 8 of Air in reverse, means that you discovered that you are the key to your success, and that you have the power to move forward in your life. Because in traditional tarot, it's a woman with she's blindfolded, she's got rope around her, but she's surrounded by a bunch of swords, and she can use those to escape from the ropes. So in the upright, you'd be trapped by illusion, self-doubt. This is not the case. And the confirmation card was the 9 of Fire in the reverse, which is the 9 of Wands, right? So it feels like this is like a contradictory card, Jeff, at least to me, because at the same time, you're your key to your freedom, or your key to your success. At the same time, you're not working to defend what you've cultivated. So that's kind of a little contradictory right there. Those energies right there for pile 2 are kind of weird and kind of conflicting. But ultimately, I wouldn't say it's bad, because you discovered your belief and you discovered your way to success. Pile 2 people. Pile 3 people.
All right, somehow your thing's getting weird. It's like getting lower in volume.
Okay.
But so far, it's like a self-help night. So like tough love that we're getting.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Much better.
Okay. Yes, it's low on battery. Okay, for pile 3 people, you got the 8 of Fire in the upright position. The 8 of Wands, that means things are moving rapidly for pile 3. Things are moving fast for you. Clarification card is the 2 of Earth. Okay, now that's crazy. The two of Earth, 2 of Coins is a balancing. It's a balancing card. It means that if you got it in upright, you're balancing things and you're doing it successfully. but still you're working hard to keep that balance. In the reverse position, with the 8 of fire, you've basically quit trying to juggle and you're just focused on one thing, and that's moving you quicker. The 8 of fire, 8 of wands, moving you quicker to the thing you're focused on most, because reverse, you dropped it. You've quit the juggling act. It's failed. So you've already went with something. It's not bad. It's good. These are overall really good cards. I hope you guys heard pile 2 because I had some issues with my sound, but ultimately these are good cards.
Yeah, I felt like it's like a self-help night. There was like tough, not really tough love, but kind of, how would you say, just, gentle nudges to like it said, you need to get out and do stuff. And
yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So are you able to live stream from your Facebook page?
Yes, I am able to do that. I do that on mobile too. And I use the ghost box on there now, and you guys can check it out and see what you guys hear, and let me know in the comments if you go over there and see, because I'm interesting to see what other people have to say about what I pick up.
So if you want to catch Merlin on his Facebook or his YouTube, I believe it's Merlin in the Fey King's Crown.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's correct. That's me on both platforms, YouTube and Facebook.
And also, are you still doing any readings on Discord?
Yes, I did one not too long ago on lady, about a week ago, or maybe less than that, almost a week ago. She direct messages me. I'm sorry I haven't been putting it out there, but just direct message me, guys. And again, they're all free, and I'm just doing it to help others because I believe knowledge should be accessible to us all.
That's cool.
So just direct message me. You can @Merlin, like just the @Merlin sign, and that should tag me, and I should know. Or you can just direct message me that way as well.
Perfect.
Now we'll get back with you again.
Well, Merlin, I've got 3 people waiting on me, so I have to run. But thank you, sir, for our group reading, and thank you again for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you for all you do, and your wife. Thank you guys for all you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Good night.
Yes, sir.
And
good night.
Cheers. All right, so there was your reading. I hope that was something that speaks to you. Now, next looks like we have Michael Williams. We need to show yours. Yeah. She's my Vanna White here. She's showing the and that is our other one. Ask to unmute and ask to start video. Michael, are you there? I don't think his audio is on.
Hello?
There you are.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You've been on before, right?
Well, I tried to get on before, but I couldn't figure out how to turn on the sound.
Oh, okay, because I recognized you. And so yeah, I think I remember that. You were we had you there, your video, but no sound. I notice you're wearing something looks like a uniform. Are you a police officer?
Oh no, I'm a security guard right now.
All right, cool. You're working the night shift?
Yeah, I get off here at midnight. I'm in Texas.
What part?
Houston.
Okay, I'm down the street from you in San Antonio.
Oh wow, never knew that.
Yeah, so too bad I didn't. It's too long for me, but too bad I'm not all the way on until midnight. Then we'd be keeping you company while you're working.
Right. I just wanted to come and talk like a little bit about. My mother passed away when I was 9 years old, and I just wanted to talk about like a visitation that I had from my mother. And I think we've kind of had like some kind of contact like throughout the years. And she passed away in like 1993. So for the longest, like in my adult years, I would hear kind of like a whisper in my ear that would call out my complete name, which is Michael. But it's kind of like unusual because nobody in since my childhood really called me Michael. Everybody called me Mike. So it went on for years and years and years because like I used to live in Memphis, Tennessee, but when I moved to Houston, it kind of stopped for some reason. But when I started learning about spirituality and life after death, I realized that it was my mother
Cool.
trying to contact me through telepathy.
Has she
I never knew it.
Has
Oh,
she?
go ahead, sir.
It's okay. Has she visited you in your dreams as well?
Yes, she did visit me in a dream. One night, I think this was maybe like a year ago. I was having a dream that we were going on a trip, and I could tell that my mother was in the dream. But one of my aunts was like blocking her way, was like standing in front of my mother. And my aunt kind of finally stepped out of the way. And then I could see my mother. She had like the same hairstyle that she had when she died in like 1993. She looked like the same age that she was at that time in 1993. Um, but when I looked at her face was kind of blurred, but I could tell it was her. It was just kind of like blurred. But I could see through the blurriness, but it was still like kind of blurred. But when we embraced and like hugged each other, the feeling was so like overwhelming and overpowering. I had to really jolt myself like awake because I never felt a feeling like that. It was really like overwhelming to my psyche. So I kind of like had to wake myself up out of that dream, unfortunately.
Let me ask you two questions and I'll let you answer. One is, what was your mother's age at the time she transitioned? And two is your aunt also on the other side?
No, the aunt here is still alive. And I was kind of wondering what was the significance of her like standing in the way because there's like a bad family history with that person in particular. Wondering is that it? And our mother was very young. She passed away. I think she was only like 31 in 1993. And she
Yeah.
passed away of cancer.
All right. Can you're gonna have to say that again because you were I don't know if you were buffering or what, but it was just all real slow motion and I couldn't catch that. Can you repeat that for us, please?
Okay. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. My mother was 31 in 1993 when she passed away
Okay.
of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my aunt is still alive, the one that was in the dream. And I'm wondering, is there any significance that she was standing in the way of my mother? Because there's like not a good family history with that aunt. So I'm wondering, was her standing in the way, like, did that mean something in a way, perhaps? I
Yeah.
don't know, but maybe I'm drawing conclusions.
Is the aunt her sister?
It is, yes, sir.
Is it possible she's trying to show you that, she's blocking you, or maybe she was gossiping behind her back, or there's something that, you know what I mean, was some way in between you and your mother?
That could very well be true. I could definitely see that scenario. But like I had to wake myself up out of the dream because it's like when we hugged and embraced, I've never felt anything like that before. It was like almost too much for my body to contain or something or
Mm-hmm.
take in.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally had to jolt myself awake.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a real visitation to me. Now,
Yes.
you've never seen her image when you heard the whispers, have you?
No, I just heard it like so many times through the years. I was used to it. Like I felt like I thought it was something that happened to everybody. And the voice was like neither male or female, but it was like just a whisper also.
Mm-hmm.
I could be like in a quiet room and I would hear it then, but I don't really, I haven't heard it in a while since I moved here. And it's been like 10 years. So, and I'm originally from Mississippi. I'm wondering is something like related to the location, because I heard it when I lived in Mississippi. I heard it when I lived in Memphis, Tennessee, which is not too far away from Mississippi. And then when I got here, it just stopped.
Yeah, maybe it could be that she's still here, or she's in the light and still trying to contact you. I mean, if it's a positional place, it would to me mean more like she likes something about, Mississippi or Memphis, that she's still drawn to the area.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my take. I'm not an expert.
Right. It sounds very plausible though.
Yeah. So that's cool. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing that with us, Michael. I appreciate that.
Do you mind if I promote my YouTube page?
I do not. What is it?
My YouTube page is called Microphone Mike, spelled Mike. And there's a story I have on there of how my father abandoned my siblings and I, like once my mother did pass away. So it's like a very intriguing story that I think a lot of people would like to watch also. And my Facebook page also is Microphone Mike. You can definitely follow me or subscribe on YouTube.
All right. So Microphone Mike, if you guys want to go check out his story, that's how you find him.
Thank you, Jeff. It's such a pleasure to be speaking with you. And I just want everybody to know your family members are not gone. They are still there on the other side waiting for you. And take care, Jeff.
Thanks. Nice meeting you, and have a great rest of your night.
Likewise.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was cool. Don't report. Next, we've got Mesa. Oh, Tanya. Tanya got our merch. Awesome. Yeah, maybe you can pop out and see what you got. You got a t-shirt. I think I ordered a t-shirt too. It's not here yet. We ordered like some samples. Obviously these 2 mugs. And then I don't remember. I thought it was a t-shirt. I'm pretty sure it is. It's just not here yet. I don't know if you guys have checked the merch or not, and I don't blame you if you haven't, but we have added new products, a Christmas ornament, sleep mask, which you could use for meditation. Remember what else we put on there? We got a dress and we were unhappy with the dress, so we took it down. And hi, let me see, let me get up to start video. So we decided to take it down. So we, if we didn't like it, we didn't feel like it was a good thing to sell, so we took it down. Mesa.
Hello. Yeah, just keep on talking. I'm listening.
Oh, now you were on before, weren't you?
Yeah, last week.
I remember you. I'm trying to remember. Are you in Croatia? I'm trying to remember where you're at.
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Okay, I'm close.
Yeah.
Kind of. At least it's Europe.
Sorry, I was interested in the dress story.
Oh, you were interested in the dress store. I think she's going to go get it so you guys can see what it looked like. It was just, it just wasn't, we didn't find it. It's not, we didn't find it was, the value was worth it. The value of the product didn't equal the price, and we didn't think it was worth it, so we took it down. And unfortunately, a lot of, all these products that we're putting together, I don't even know what they're like until I get one in my hands. So we're happy with the mugs. We just weren't happy with the dress. Hopefully I'll be happy with the t-shirt. We'll see. And on that note, I wondered this last time, and I'm still wondering, what are the things on your shelves behind you? Is it comic books?
I hope so.
I think you're frozen. Yeah, that. What is that stuff?
No, it will move eventually. That's all robots from Japan, all models.
Oh wow! Do you collect them or you build them?
Well, thanks to the psychosis, I have a bit of a lag, so I'm behind on them. So they are just there for storage reasons.
Oh, okay, cool. So what would you like to talk about tonight?
Well, last time I talked about all the weird stuff in like possession and stuff, but it occurred to me that I didn't really talk about the stuff about the future and stuff.
So you were, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you said you were
yeah,
possessed?
yeah, well, I call it possession or something. It's really just channeling a voice
Mm-hmm.
that isn't mine. So yeah,
Right.
well, technically the voices before this with the psychosis, that was possession, because it was I was totally sane, and the voices just were playing out a scenario like they were actors,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to witness everything. So yeah, it was possession.
Wow. So you also saw future events.
Well, no, not future. But the last voice I was talking about, the one with soulmate, she talks about the future a lot. So our future, my
Mm-hmm.
personal future,
Mm-hmm.
and not the future of this life, but of the next one.
All right. I mean, and wow, that's interesting. Is it like in the future, like 100 years from now, or 1,000 years from now, or what is she telling you?
Well, time scale is a bit confusing, but I guess it's like 50 years from now I'll die. Then I'll stay in the other side for like a few hundred years. Then I'll reincarnate, and these reincarnations are planned. And like you know how they say when you have NDEs and they say this is planet hard mode.
Say
So
that. This is planet what?
hard mode,
Art mode.
no hard mode.
Well, heart mode.
Yeah. So everything here is planned to basically make you suffer and make you express love.
Right.
Those
Right.
two things are the most important things all NDE people talk about. Well, the next few worlds don't have that. At least that's what I learned. They are more centered about love and building trust and building families. So that is what she learned me, and that's just what I forgot to talk about last time, because that's important, because it really shaped how I look at things in this life, and it made me secure in how I want to live. I've never been suicidal, but now with the feelings I have now, I'm pretty much totally devoid of any negative feelings about death.
That's good.
And life.
Did she happen to describe what the world is like in the future?
No, because I'm not gonna reincarnate in this world. I'm gonna reincarnate in another universe. A lot of universes. Every time I die, I skip to another world.
Interesting. 1 second. All right, I'm having trouble hearing, so my wife is going to help me with something. It's just
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Oh, well, these headphones aren't that great, so that's just I can't.
Well, it might just be the microphone, the audio. Let's see. No, that's the wrong speaker.
So I want to kind of just review from last week, and you mentioned that you're kind of possession. It sounds like you have an entity that's with you, a female entity. Is she like communicating to your higher self from the other side, or do you feel like she's around you in this realm but not in corporeal form?
It's a long distance relationship, so she's basically puppeteering me from way afar.
From the other side, do you think she's communicating with your higher self?
Yeah, Yeah, I think it's more complicated than that, but I think that's about it.
Hmm. Do you think that you guys lived many lives together already?
No, basically, this whole planet is my first life, and basically, there's a stupid thing where we all think that we need to maximize our suffering for some reason.
Hmm.
So basically, anything that makes me happy, my previous self, so this is pre-birth, how do you call it? Pre-birth writing or something, um, basically chose the most negative things he could think of. So if I had someone to love right now, I would be happy. I'm easy to please. Um, Same with being a woman. I chose a male because I'd be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically it.
That's it. I remember now that from last week you claim to be bi gender, right?
Yeah.
Right. I remember. Do you think it's possible, since this is your first time here, that you're a star seed?
No, not really. Star seeds are those people who are more connected to the heavenly, the divine, right? I'm not
Well,
like that.
I think
So
star seeds will claim that, before this life, they came from another planet or another system. And you said it's your first time here.
well, no, in general, before this, my pre-life, I was nothing. I was, well, it's hard to describe what we are before
So
in our
you're
first life,
you're like a
but
brand new soul, would you say?
yeah, brand new soul.
Interesting.
And what she also learned me is that we reincarnate uh, back and forth. So we live in one era, we die, we live in the next era, but we also live sideways. Sideways.
Maybe
So
in the
right now, I'm
multi dimensions.
having a life. Yeah, basically.
It's so
So
fascinating because most people will say, I'm an old soul, I've been here a lot of times. I'm ready to move on. But I think you're the first person who's ever said, I'm a brand new soul.
yeah, yeah, that's something I learned. Previously, before the voice was here, I was really like, I remember dying in World War I, and I remember being French and having been on the gallows. So that's stuff I remember. But also Irish. I have an Irish necklace on me.
Hmm.
So yeah, so those things, but those things are side lives. So all across time and space,
Mm-hmm.
I'm being stretched out to maximize suffering. Let's say that. Let's say it like that.
Well, some people believe, all time is happening at once at the same time. So
Yeah, that's
maybe
basically it.
maybe all these side lives are happening at the same time, but ultimately that would be that your future life is happening now as well.
No, no, that's just for this world. It's hard to explain. It's like trying to explain that time works everywhere at the same rate. Um, Basically, it's in this universe, and all time works as you expect. But outside this universe, in the next world, time runs differently. So yeah, uh, and what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, future lives. Okay,
Mhm.
so let me just keep a little bit short with just the lives I know.
Mhm.
First world, I'm supposed to be Egyptian, ancient Egyptian. They 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 actually showed me this life when I had psychosis. I did have a few visions, so to say, but they were more like memories. So I didn't see it in front of me like someone would when they had a delusion. It was more like a memory. So what I saw was just me being a little girl with a bald head, with a tail right here, and I was standing next to a sandstone building, and then a mother called me in language I didn't know, and I tripped, and I fell with my head against a snake who bit me.
Ooh,
And
that sounds like Cleopatra. A little bit.
yeah,
Well, you were Egyptian, right?
yeah, that's the first next life. That's the one I'm most vivid about. And I wrote down the others, but my voice was like, "This is important. Do something else with your time." And I was like, "Okay, let's not focus on the next lives then,"
Yeah.
because again, I write everything down so I don't focus on them anymore. So it's kind of a put it in a book and put it away thing.
Yeah, and it's also best to, I think, to focus here and now. You know, try to be in present time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
And that's when I'm best. So that's when the voice isn't here. That's when I feel most me, and that's basically what she wants from me. But when we need to talk, we need to talk, and that's something else. Unlike psychosis, my voice takes their time. So every Monday and Thursday, I go back to the ward, and we have a Kriya day. So a day when we paint and we sculpture, and we have an hour in the forest next to it. We just walk in circles, and I let her talk, and then I listen. And when we're done, she says we're done. We're going to the painting, and that's when I just come back.
Hmm.
So that's weird, but that's something we she basically managed.
Hmm. Well, no, it's not Michael. It's Mesa. Mesa,
Yeah,
I've got to run to the next person, but
yeah.
thank
See
you
you
for.
next week.
All right. Have a great week. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Stay safe. Take care. God bless you.
Bye.
Cheers. Actually, the person left, and maybe they'll be back. All right, 227 people. You want to show what they look like? Okay, my wife Mara's going to try to model the dress for you, so you can see here. That's what it looked like. But what would you say? Why didn't we like it? We just I get it's expensive. I think it was like $50 and or $40, and it's just the quality. I guess the material's too thin, and it just didn't feel like it was worth it, so we just shelved it. And I don't think anybody bought it, so that's a good thing. All right, so we got 240 of you here. And I always use really low numbers, 1%. So 2.4 people should be waiting for me, and you're not. What was interesting is when he was talking about a life review, I had a guest that I recorded yesterday, and I'm going to be posting it tomorrow night. And he, during his NDEs, my second person meeting the Grim Reaper. And this person also said the Grim Reaper is a pretty cool guy, or a cool guy. He liked the Grim Reaper. So you don't have to fear the Reaper. He's a good guy. And he said something that I never thought about. And he put it in a different way, which is, after doing about 400 of these, it's helping me still kind of piece the puzzles together. And he felt like that when you're having the life review, you're time traveling. Because I guess you're kind of actually going back and re-experiencing it or watching it in real time. You're not, most people will say they are looking at a screen, or they see a screen, or they see it. But maybe he was trying to put it in a way that maybe he's there watching it. I don't know if he was actually, I wish I would have asked that now, but I don't know if he's actually reliving it, or you're standing beside himself watching it in time back in the past, like time traveling. So I thought that was, I thought that was real interesting. And there's a couple things I wanted to say, which I think is a good time to bring this up, that a lot of the guests I get have never been on anybody's podcast before. Well, we'll save that. Tanya's here. And I'll tell you about that. And so, all right, yeah, I'll wait. Ask to start video. You're welcome, Julie Lazaroff. Let me move this out of the way. All right, there you are. I think I ordered the same t-shirt. Cool. There it is. Thank you for showing us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got the t-shirt. I like it. I like the material.
Is it the long? Did you get the long sleeve or a short sleeve?
Oh, the long sleeve.
Oh, okay, nice.
Got the long sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
I like my t-shirts like loose on me. I don't like it to be tight.
Yeah.
So this actually is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then it's actually good, I think, for exercising.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the material is not cotton.
Okay.
So I think it will be perfect like for exercising, and that's what I'm gonna go do after the show ends. I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna try it. But I think it will be perfect for that.
Oh, cool. You do late night exercising.
Yeah, the gym is 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be able to go after the show ends and then stay there as long as I want to, basically, because it's 24 hours. I'm just starting back again.
Good for you.
To exercise because well, I can share this with you guys, I guess, since I don't have any paranormal supernatural stuff to share today. But I just got a new job offer that I'll be starting soon, so I thought about just going to the gym and working out so that I can be my best when I do start working in the beginning of next year.
Awesome. Congratulations. What is the work that you do?
It's gonna be a HR assistant job, kind of like secretary kind of job type of things.
So when did you get out of the military?
I got off in 2019, at the end of 2019. October 1st was my retirement effective date. And then after that, I just took it easy. And then I started going to college, and then I finished college, the bachelor's, and then I started management studies, and then I applied for jobs, and then now I got this job. I mean, I have been working in doing translating things like linguist from Spanish to English, from Spanish to English, English to Spanish.
That's great.
Doing translations like that, but I continue applying for other things, and then I got this HR assistant position with the VA, actually.
That's cool. You were in the Air Force, right?
Yes, I was.
Were you in for 20 years?
20 years.
Wow, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I guess you got the GI Bill, so you get free college?
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah, so it's all paid for. I just had to make sure I passed the classes. Like if you don't pass, if you fail, then it's on you. But if you pass, then you're good.
That's great. I was told once before that you should change professions every 20 years.
Yes.
So
that's what I did. Like actually, my bachelor's degree is not even in HR. It's in information technology management. which is something I never did in the military. Like I didn't do computers or build websites or anything like that. So, but that's what my degree is in. But it was because of that point that you said. I was looking to learn something else than what I was doing for 20 years.
It'll keep it. You'll grow new neurons in your brain and keep you young.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's very important, to because they say that your mind. We think of a computer, and this is not a computer, obviously, but a computer only has so much memory, and that's it. And you just stuff stuff in there. But our brain is like a learning machine. And I learned this from Dr. Michio Kaku. I like his stuff. But, every time you learn something new, your brain rewires itself.
Exactly.
So it's so great to keep, learning new stuff because your brain keeps growing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to try it on. And then I can let you know next weekend.
All right, cool. Let us know.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for getting the shirts, and have a great workout and a great rest of your weekend. All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, I still gotta wait. I gotta figure something out. I wish I could just hit one button, and then it would finish. So what I was saying earlier is that this guy, I hope you guys will really like his podcast. Anyways, I was going to say that I'm probably the person that gets the most brand new people who've never shared their experience ever. And a lot of times a lot of times it's difficult to even get them on. You can see here how difficult it is to get people on. So sometimes it's difficult to get people on, and I don't have any control over on their side. I'm just grateful enough that I could get them to come on and share, and I accept them however we can get it to work. You know what I mean? Like if they have to use their phone or their computer or whatever, as long as I can get the recording, it's good enough for me. So a lot of times I don't have a lot of times maybe their video's not the best, or maybe the audio's not the best, but as long as I can get some type of recording, I'm happy. And so he was he's into I guess I don't know if ghost hunting is the right word, but he was at some ghost event, and I guess he was taking a break at his ghost event to share his NDE with me, but he was at a sanitarium. And sometimes during at some point, you can hear a lot of background noise. But, like I said, that's the best I can do. So I hope you guys can overlook that. And I had another guest today, a very nice woman. And we talked about her NDE. And again, I don't know if you guys saw the one from Africa. Sometimes they just, it just comes in where it's just the video quality. I think her audio was pretty good, but the video quality was real kind of low bandwidth. But that's, again, and actually this is the first time I ever did this, that she couldn't even get the Zoom. We couldn't get the Zoom to work on her phone. And so I had to do it with Facebook Messenger. And I don't know how the editing's going to be, because usually it's like me and the guest side by side, but we couldn't really do it that way. I couldn't figure out Facebook Messenger. So it's her, and then it's like me in this little square down here. And I was kind of trying to, when she was talking, I would kind of click on the button to take me out so you'd see the guest, like we edit it, because it was kind of in a spot where if you take me out, there's going to be this blank spot. So we'll start editing that one tomorrow, and we'll see how that will show up. But anyways, so those are the next two that we had. He, I think, had his NDE from sleep apnea, and I think even he just never, I guess he didn't take his doctor's advice, because one time he had sleep apnea so bad that he wound up in a coma, and he still didn't wear his whatever BiPAP machine or whatever CPAP machine. And had that one, and I think she had it from pneumonia. So I hope you will enjoy those. And while we're talking, let's see what's coming this week. I think I have an NDE to record tomorrow. On Monday, I have one where a guy communicates with his son from the other side, and I think he's a pretty famous guy. You might have seen him before. Some of you have. Another NDE on Tuesday. Another NDE on Wednesday. Thursday is Thanksgiving, and I'm double recording, so I won't have to record on Thursday. And on the Friday, I have a guy. He was out in the desert, and I don't know if he was left for dead or almost dead in the desert. Maybe in the California desert, and maybe he got some abilities after like whatever happened to him in the desert. So that's that. And then, as I mentioned earlier, if you weren't here, I'm going to be recording. Is it this? I thought it's December. I think I put this in the wrong month. But I don't have any. It's positive. To December. So that one, I don't have anybody scheduled. Saturday. Sunday, another NDE. That's the following week. So those are those coming up. All right. So if you're there and you're wondering, and I thought I kind of look at the guests and kind of glance at the chat. Someone wanted to get in, and I want to let you know that if you want to join me here, all you have to do is go to Zoom and click join a meeting. And then it's going to ask you for the room ID, which it's down below in the description. And then it will ask you the password to get in. And then you should, hopefully you can copy and paste it, because it's cap sensitive. So if it has a capital letter, you have to put the capital letter. I was thinking also, and I talked about it maybe last week or before, that since this Saturday is Thanksgiving, that you can come and even just say, it's like an overlying theme, but you can come and say what you're thankful for, So you guys may have heard me here before, said at least here, I think, or maybe not somewhere else, but I used to keep a thanks, or a grateful journal. Like every day I would get up and write 3 things that I'm grateful for. So if you want to, come and say what you're grateful for, I think that you might enjoy that. That's on this coming up Saturday. So what else is going on? Channel. The first thing underneath is the Discord link. So Discord is kind of like Facebook, but not really. What it is a place where you guys can hang out and you can post whatever you want, memes or jokes or whatever you want to post. I don't monitor it really. I just kind of monitor it. People let me know if there's like trolls on there, but otherwise I don't really, monitor it for what's going on. And let Pete in. And then also, what else is going on in there? You can video chat, you can audio chat, and then there's a room called services. So what goes on in the services room is, like Merlin, who was there earlier, for people who want to practice their services, they can do so. Pete, how are you?
Hey, nice to see you. Hi, everybody.
Hello. Now, you've been here before, right?
Yeah.
I thought I recognized you.
I was the guy who, back in July, I was talking about how my friend passed away of cancer, and then I felt him die from like 3 states away.
Okay.
And then 6 months after his death, I got a voicemail from him.
Oh, yeah. I remember it.
It's me.
Yeah, it's so interesting because for some reason, I was listening to that again recently. I don't know why I was listening to that, but within the last month or so, I think I was talking.
So we were chatting about it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's right.
During the gold and silver member meetup.
Right, that's where it all comes back now. And I was thinking about you today because Pete and I were talking about that, about making because if you guys know, I make compilation videos of their final, what does I ask people every time I ask, well, give us one last positive message. So we would make, I usually make compilations out of that, but I thought about, and he brought it to me, is that I should make compilations of of certain subjects. So let's say if someone saw an angel and it said, yeah, I saw an angel, because it's really common that when people see angels, they're like 10 feet tall. So let's just, for one example, yeah, I saw this angel and he was 10 feet tall. And then it blips to the next person. Yeah, I saw this angel and he was 10 feet tall and solid white. And then it pops to the next person. Yeah, I saw this angel. So it'd be kind of interesting to see person after person after person talk about it, saying the same thing over and over. Just like when we hear people that say when they go to the Akashic records, it looks like Rome or Greece. And and I was telling him that I just, there's over 400 NDEs, and I barely have enough time to just produce new content, that I don't even have time to backtrack through all these videos. And we were thinking about coming up with like 4 or 5 different subjects that we want to do, that we want to backtrack. Like if you want to, it's good that Pete's here, and you guys can maybe if you're up for it, Pete, if anybody who wants to contribute to this, because we were going to ask, we just need 400 people to listen to one video or 200 people to listen to 2 videos. But we got to get like maybe whatever 5 subjects you guys want to.
I think it should be more, because if you're gonna go through like 400 hours of video, you don't want to have to go back and do it again.
Right. So maybe, yeah. So
I have a list of like 35 or 40 things that people keep on repeating across not all of the NDEs, but many of the NDEs.
Right.
So
would you be,
I feel like anytime, if you go through the video, like maybe they could be numbered 1 through 40. And then like, as you see, they're talking about, thing 37, which is how everything is telepathic over there. And, you would write like 37 from 5 minutes and 20, starting at 5 minutes and 20 seconds or something. Right.
Yeah. If everything being telepathic would be almost every single video. So that would be pretty cool.
Right. Or when they talk about like, number 28 might be, time doesn't work the same over there. I couldn't tell if I was there for 10 minutes or 10 years, that could be like 28. So, write that down anytime somebody says that. But like once Jeff had all those timestamps from 400 hours of NDEs, then he could make really compelling videos to try to convince more and more people that this is real stuff. I mean, because when you see, 15, 20 people saying the exact same thing, it's just like mathematically, it can't be a random hallucination. You know what I'm saying? It's very compelling. That's what really started to compel me when I started to believe in this stuff. But then in addition to the really veridical stuff is where they travel out of their body down the hallway to the waiting room, and then they later on they say, oh yeah, my sister was sitting there and you guys were watching Family Feud on the waiting room television, and there was a fan there and you moved the fan over here, and they're able to accurately describe everything that was going on. But even aside from that, just listening to these people repeat the same exact details, especially how specific the life review is, where they say, not only was I reliving every moment of my life, but I could also feel everyone else's emotion that was there in the scene with me. Like, that's a very, very, very specific thing to hear 20 or 30 people say,
Are you a member of Discord?
Yeah, so maybe I could get on the Discord with some folks.
Well,
try to, what's it called?
What I'm gonna do is
crowdsource this.
I'm going to create a room in Discord, a separate room, and just call it compilation. So then there's the room for anybody who wants to, help out with that. And maybe they can. What is your Discord name? Is it Pete?
It's PDP.
PDP.
PETEY and then PETE.
All right. So maybe if you don't mind, heading this for me, then I'll create the room, and then maybe if people want to, whoever wants to help out, then they can chat with you in the room, and then you can share those 35 or 40 things that you come up with, and my email is never in this live stream, but my email is always in the regular videos. It's always in the bottom, so people can, once everybody figures it out or starts watching the videos, then anybody can, email me and say, okay, I watched number 633, and give me timestamps of that, and then we can start, and then I can start, I have to go back and then just start pulling them back out and start cutting them and clipping them all together again. But I think it could be really
idea.
cool.
I'd be happy to spearhead it.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be really awesome. That would be really helpful.
I did want to share something. Just some thoughts that I've been having about our energetic nature, I guess. So how we kind of understand. Scientists like Bruce Grayson and so on and so forth have been talking about how the brain doesn't generate consciousness as the mainstream science thinks, but rather it's more like a reducing valve or a filter that filters our consciousness, or more like a transmitter that picks up our consciousness from some other spot. And I was thinking that one of the reasons that sounds right is if the brain was really the center of if we really felt instinctively that the brain was the center of our being, how come when I say hey, who wants to come out for ice cream? You don't go, oh, I do. Me, or who wants to be on my team? Oh, pick me. Where do we point here, right? We say me, I'm standing right here. We don't say I'm standing right here, right? When we point to our head, we instinctively say, hey, think about it. Think, use your head. But if you say hey, he pushed me, or something, you point to your heart, right? And that's out of our chakras, right? That's the center one, right? We have 7 of them. The heart chakra is right in the middle. It's number 4. So I started to just think about that. And now I kind of feel I'm a visual artist. I have this funny little doodle in my sketchbook. I kind of envisioned like a little cartoon glowy guy in the chest with a periscope coming up and going out the eyes, almost like piloting around the body with a little looking into the periscope out from the heart chakra. So anyway, that's just a weird thought that I had. I wanted to share with everybody.
I wanted to comment on that. See something quick, so I need to just look up. It's okay. So when I had on Anna Lee, and this is podcast 638, which I probably posted that on Monday or Tuesday. She told me about a declassified government report where they basically went and checked out the Monroe Institute. And she gave me a link to that, and I've been reading it, and it's pretty heavy science stuff, but so far from what I'm reading, where they're talking about holograms, and they're basically, this guy who did this report for the government I haven't finished it yet, but apparently so far, and I think she's talked about it too, that basically they're coming up that what we live in is a hologram. And in the report, that consciousness creates the brain, not the other way around, that the brain creates consciousness. So again, that's I don't know, I've never spoke with Dr. Grayson, I've spoke with other people, but again, it's along the same lines that our bodies are manifested by our consciousness.
Right. Or perhaps the nature of the universe itself is primarily consciousness, not only our bodies, but
yeah. So if anybody wants that link to that article, just message me on Facebook. You can do that at the JeffMara Podcast you can just message me there, or you can add me as a friend. That's also below in the description below the video. I put a link if you want to just add me as a friend. I'm adding people up till I hit my 5,000 limit. You're welcome to add me there, and I can send you the link if you want to read that. It's not easy. It's not an easy read, but it's pretty fascinating once you sit down and, you know, go through it. I think there's like 29 pages, and I'm probably like page 9.
Can you remind us what is the Monroe Institute?
The Monroe Institute is created by Bob Monroe. Bob Monroe is the guy that created binaural beats.
Oh, okay.
And it's great for binaural beats too, because if you want to learn more about binaural beats, it's right in there. They're talking about binaural beats, how they work. So, you know, you play like one tone in one ear, and then if you reduce this tone on the other ear by 10 hertz, then it creates this wobble effect. It's like almost like a note that's out of tune, because it's not even 10 hertz is not enough to change like from C to C sharp or C flat or whatever. It's just slightly out of tune, but it creates this wobble effect. And it's creating this 10, since it's 10 hertz difference, it's creating a 10 hertz wave going through your head. And ultimately what it does is your brain will, if you hear it long enough, your brain will now shift into 10 hertz frequency, which I think is theta frequency. It'll kind of override your brain into that frequency. And you can get into that. One of the things is it syncs your brain up. You know, they call it the hemisync course. And so, you know, it syncs the left side with the right side. And this is a much quicker way to be able to do stuff, which possibly to astral travel or get out of your body from doing it from years of meditation. Because it talks in the article, like if you're doing meditation, it may take you 10 years to be able to do this, what you can do quickly by just listening to the effect on the headphones. And they have a whole course about that. I've had a couple guys on from the Monroe Institute, and I just asked the current CEO if he'd be on, because he's also had some NDEs. So and we can talk about that, and I want to talk about the more of the gate. And their big program is called the Gateway Experience or something, and you can go there to the Monroe Institute and actually train in it, and that's probably the ultimate thing to do. And or I think they have a home study course. And also, I've mentioned it before, they have if you go to the Monroe Institute on YouTube, they have some videos, and there's one of them called and it's kind of like a very limited introductory to the Gateway Experience, and I've talked about it here on the on Saturday nights before. And if you want to go check it out, it's really cool to do it, because he kind of takes you right from the beginning. He'll play one tone in one ear, and then he'll play the one in the other ear, and then you can hear the wobble effect. And then he does some other stuff. I think he's calling it tuning your resonant frequency, but it's really interesting stuff. And one last thing on that is I had a guest that he was able to, I think, have some kind of leave his body and have a UFO experience from doing the Gateway Experience. I think he's the head of MUFON in Japan. That's Mutual UFO Network.
Well, I'm in my 20s. I remember I used to try to pop out of my body. I was, reading some books with some techniques and stuff like that. And I think I kind of almost did it. I'm pretty sure I did, but I didn't really want to accept that I was like halfway out, kind of like that one lady. I think that lady whose last name is Tarantino describes being
Janet?
halfway out. Yeah, remember
Janet?
She describes how like the top half of her was out, but her legs were still in.
It's hard for me to remember. I think I was kind of
like that. I was stuck. Like if I'm going to go sideways here, but like if I was lying down like this, I had this view like my head was right here, because instead of my hands were on my chest, and instead of seeing my hands like this, like you would if you were laying down, I could kind of see them more like this. So, and then I slowly I looked around. The room was all sparkly. My bedroom was all sparkly. There was an exposed brick wall that looked like, when water bounces off of a river, onto something, that's what the light looked like on the wall. And then there was a sound in my ears, like when you listen to a shell, a conch shell. And I was like, oh, I think I'm doing it. And then my point of view just kind of sank down 6 or 8 inches. And then I just sat up. And so I was like, wait, was that a dream or not? Because I didn't remember waking up. It was like I just sank down and then I just sat right up. So I was never really sure, but I would like to try those binaural beats.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was 25 years ago, but you know, maybe I'll try the binaural beats and maybe I'll have better luck getting out of my body again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube, and you, like I said, you go check out the Monroe Institute's YouTube page because they have some stuff, different videos you can kind of, you know, meditate to and listen to it. I think maybe, you know, Eben Alexander used to be at one time the head of Monroe Institute. I had him on as a guest, and
yeah, I remember what.
And he also with his partner has he sells, I guess, you know, binaural, I don't guess it's using binaural beats, but they sell like different meditation tapes and they call it Sacred Acoustics. And I think their stuff is kind of based on binaural beat stuff. And I've been actually doing that lately. That was one of them I've been doing, is the theta one.
Can I just ask, while we have your 250 listeners here, has anyone ever had experience with coming out of your body, and specifically that sound, like I heard this like rushing sound in my ears, like when you listen to a shell? Does anyone know anything about that? And the other reason I doubted it was my bedroom wall that I was looking at, when it kind of seemed like it was in the wrong place, which is what made me think it was maybe a dream. But now I hear about how everything is, you know, people have 360-degree vision when they're out. So I might have just been disoriented by that. But anyway, if anyone has any information about the rushing sound in the ears, or like a wall seeming like it's in the wrong place, or the sparkly lights that seem to be on the wall, please let me know. But anyway, I don't want to keep taking up time here, so I'm going to say goodbye. But I definitely, please do set up that that server, or channel. What was it going to be called?
Yeah,
Compilation.
It's going to be called a server. I'll do that. I will. Let me see. Text chat. Music. Compilation. All right, it's already there. I just created it. So if you want to help us out with this with these compilation videos, I just created a compilation channel, or I guess it's a text channel within Discord, and look for PD Pete. He's spearheading it for us, and maybe we can get that done. It's, you know, it's 400 plus or minus videos, but we have 50,000. We have 50,000 subscribers. All we need is 400 people.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Pete. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Cheers. All right. So I thought I saw Tina there. My Bigfoot something is her my Bigfoot teacher, I believe, is her name. And I was thinking about, she said she had an OBE this morning, but also when this is over and you want to go later, there she is, my Bigfoot teacher. Maybe she can tell us about her OBE. But I also mentioning her because she's had Bigfoot contact, I believe. And so I have a video on the JeffMara Podcast Facebook page. I posted like some different things to talk about. And there is a video there of Bigfoot. A hunter was out hunting, and from a distance, you can see Bigfoot pretty clearly. It's from the side. It's hard to tell to me if it's somebody in a gorilla suit walking or if it's really Bigfoot. So, if you guys, take a look at that, and then maybe, afterwards you can this will be here the video will, besides being live, it's going to be on YouTube, and you can kind of go back and post, and maybe you can tell us what you think, if that was really Bigfoot or not. And see what you think. See if you believe it's real. Let me see what else I posted on there. I posted some other things today. Let me find it. What's that? All right. The news is, this is really interesting. I also posted this article that now they're creating a balloon that takes like a pod up into they're saying it's into space. I don't really think they're I guess it's technically space. I mean, you're at the edge of the atmosphere, but for $125,000 per person, you can ride in this kind of round capsule that takes you up by balloon to space. It takes 2 hours to get there. You're in space for 2 hours, and then you come back down. It's a floating spaceport, and it is all from the article. It's already sold out for 2024 when they're going to start doing it, and the whole year is already sold out, and you can start buying or reserving for 2025. So, would you do that? Would you take a balloon ride up to space? We got someone else coming in here, so you can check that out and see what you think. And this is Nikita's S22. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Oh, I have to ask to unmute. Maybe she didn't hear me. I thought I heard her for a second. Do I have my card? Is there a card that say I can see you, but I can't? I think it's backwards. Can see you, but we can't hear you. No, it's a mirror image. We have to get a mirror. I need a mirror. Or I have to get these. Penny created these for him. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read. Oh, can you hear me now? It's on.
Can, but
All
it's
right.
very soft.
I hear you now. Nikita, right?
Nitika.
Where
I'm
are you?
Nitika from
From where are you from?
India.
Oh, India. Wow. What city in India?
I can't hear you. It's too soft.
What city in India are you from?
Pardon?
What city? Are you from Delhi or?
King.
What city are you from?
I've just got up.
Did you have an NDE? Did you
Have an NDE?
did
Had other experiences.
Can you tell us about them?
Well, I saw once. I asked a question. There was it was like a screen or in front of me. This was sleeping next to me, and I was just up. Asked, now do I have to go to Delhi? And I could see a vision in front. So as if it's an answer. It took me a little while to figure out, but quite interesting. And then after a few weeks, so I got confirmation because I saw. I'm not a Hindu. I've been to a lot of Hindu temples, but I saw a vision of a shivling.
A What is a shivling?
I saw a shivling and I saw two snakes, a man, and vision, and that, and I did not believe it. I was, I mean, I woke up my husband the next morning, told him, I saw this. Do you know what that black ship, the stone? I had forgotten the name, and then we called shivling. And after a few days, tell my mom, she's going to think I'm crazy. It was like around 10 years, 2007, yeah, 2008, 2000. And he said, yeah, me and my husband called me up after a week. And his brother showed my astrological somebody, which I didn't he did. And he said that you have to do a of this same particular god G in order to happen, something bad not to happen in your life. Must. He says, I'll see yours later. See you tell your sister do this prayer immediately.
So
Very important for her.
Two things. First thing is, do you happen to have a set of headphones? Because sometimes your sound cuts out. Do you have headphones? Because sometimes your sound cuts out.
My headphone is working right now. I have a phone.
Yeah, we may get a better sound. Try plugging them in, because sometimes when you're speaking, I lose.
Working though. Wait. Try. If it will work. Hello?
Yes, I hear you. I think it's better. So, can you hear me better now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you better.
So, somebody told you that if you don't go say a prayer to God, something's bad's going to happen to you?
Yes, in India there's a lot of astrology and all that, but we were not doing that actively as a family. But somehow oh, my headphones power is gone. Just hold on. Jeff, can I get back to you in 2 minutes?
Yes, of course.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Because my power is gone again of the earphones that were on at night.
It's working. You're not cutting out right now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So in the beginning, this all happened because you had a vision, or was this in a dream, or how did this start?
I had to move to Delhi. I had to move out of my city for a reason. And I got up in the middle of I was up. I sleep late. So I was up, I was sitting up, and I asked God, why do I have to do this now when everything is so beautiful in my marriage and in my relationships? Why do I have to move out now? My husband has to stay here and I need to go because my children got admission in a very nice school in another city. So, that is what the question was. And in response to that, it was like all of a sudden I saw a vision in front of me. And it was of a...
And you said it was a vision of a shivling. What is a shivling?
Yeah, shivling is have you ever seen a shivling or no?
I've heard I'm not sure. I know I've heard the word before, but I just don't remember.
Yeah, so this is what happened with me when I got up. I knew that I know what this is, but I did not remember the word at that time. So I asked my husband the next morning, what is a shivling? What is this black stone? It's a round black stone that that Hindus worship, that a lot of Indians and Hindus worship. and they believe it's got the energy of Shiva.
Okay.
We believe in three, the Hindus: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So Brahma is the creator, Vishnu ji is the sustainer, and Shiv ji is the destroyer.
Okay.
So, and because they believe that there is destruction, that is why new things can come out of
Right.
it. So it was symbolic in that sense that I saw the vision of Shivling, because it was like destroying the old or out of the old, and new phase had to start in my life.
So basically, you're saying that this move was the new phase of your life.
Yes, that was the new phase for a certain period of time. And then I saw snakes also, and I was asking, it was like I did not get shocked by it, because I've always had a communication to God. Like as a child, also I always used to talk, and I used to feel I get some answers, which many times I did not want to agree to what my inner voice said, you know, and I would be like, yeah, I know I'm doing this wrong, but I want to do it right now, it's like you're a little rebellious uh, sometimes. So I used to be like joking always with that inner voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this was like a vision. And I was in that vision also, I was asking questions to a certain extent. Like I saw snakes, two cobras. So I said, who is this? Is this me and him, or is it somebody else? And, I got a clear answer that no, that's your husband and you.
Mm.
And then I saw something that a man, he came and defiled the shivling. In the sense, he came and peed on the shivling.
Wow.
And we were the snakes, but we were too engrossed with each other. And we were supposed to be there, but we were not. It was like the message I got is that we are not doing your job properly. So now, because you were so much into each other in a previous birth or whatever, you are now in this birth, you have to move out and do your own duties. You need to go and take care of your kids. He has to go and take care of what he needs to do here. So you have to be separated first for a while. Even though you love each other, you have a very good understanding. You had a very good understanding in the previous life. Now you have to be a little separate mentally and physically.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's the vision message I got, which I understood later. In phases, I understood this whole message. But I just told my husband, and I laughed about it. I said, see, this is what I saw. It was so funny. I'm not going to tell my mother, otherwise she's going to think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Because she's very logical, and I come from a very practical, logical, scientific kind of a family. So
What did your husband think?
my husband is very neutral, and he's always been very neutral to everything. He
Now-
doesn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So he's never been judgmental, touch wood, as a person with me at least. Never been really, no, this is not possible or anything. He was quite accepting and okay. He heard me out. And then after a week, I mean, I dismissed it. I did not really take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So, and after a week, my mother calls me up out of the blue and with an urgency. And she doesn't really believe in so much astrology and all that, but she called me up and she's telling me, she told me on the phone, this is really urgent. Your brother, your brother showed your Janampatri, that is your astrological chart, to an astrologer whom he heard is very good. He showed his and he asked about yours also. We are like a very close knit family. So he asked about, okay, tell me my sisters also. So he asked about mine, and the astrologer called him back. He says, I'll tell you yours later, but you tell your sister to do this prayer for her husband's life. This
Wow.
Mahamrityunjay Jap, which is of Shivaji only, Shivji jap. I had no idea. I didn't know any of these japs. I had never been to a temple. I've been to a Gurdwara, which is a Sikh temple, but not to a Hindu temple and all. I had not really been to a lot of them. And because I was in a town where where Hinduism was not very predominant in India. I was in a Punjab in the city. I grew up there, which is a very Sikh dominated city. So I was really not exposed much to the Hinduism thing. But and so he said, you have to do Mahamrityunjay jap. So I said, what is Mahamrityunjay jap? He says, Mama, so he says, you have to find out, call a Pandit and you find out what it is and get it done immediately. So he said, the same chart, same conjugation had formed for my daughter, and her husband passed away. So I don't want anything to happen to your sister's husband. You please tell her to do this immediately. And, so this is what happened. So it was like as if I'm getting a confirmation, okay, you're not taking this seriously. It was like a validity I got for my vision.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that you've been talking to God since you were a child, and it sounds like you may have had visions all your life. How did you get that ability?
No, I did not get visions all my life. That is not, that's not been the case. But it's like, I feel that when you're quiet and when you actually listen to your conscious voice, it always knows the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll tell you right from wrong. I've had a few things like when I've asked a question and I opened a book, and many times I used to get the answer, and once I have a maid was really rude to me for some reason, and my normal response would be to get upset or you get angry at her. But at that time I was meditating and I was in that zone. So I just said, okay, let me just go and see this book. So I opened a book and I got the exact answer and I started laughing. Instead of being mad anymore, it made me laugh. Oh God, okay, so this is how I'm supposed to think. This is a lesson for me that people will throw their dirt at you, but you're not supposed to absorb it.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to, react in a different way. And maybe she has her issue, so respond with love,
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
when I went and spoke to her, instead of being angry, I tried to be understanding. And and she was like, yeah, Didi, this is what happened, and this is why I'm so upset, I'm so sorry, I was rude to you. It was like such a different response I got as had I reacted in the way that I would normally react without seeking that advice.
That's great.
You see?
A lot of people I talk to, and I've probably mentioned it before that we all should try to live with more love in our life. And, especially like when you were a perfect example, she came at you with, anger or whatever, and you responded with love.
But this doesn't always happen, Jeff. I must tell you that.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's like, it's not easy. My natural response is to get upset, but then it happens if I am mindful.
Yeah.
And that happens and that happens only when you're really meditating regularly, or you're in touch with your self. You have that time and you align yourself, then it is much easier.
Let me ask you one more question before I let you go. You mentioned that you and your husband were also together in a past life. I'm guessing that's from your vision. Do you believe that's true, and does your husband believe that's true?
My husband he neither believes it nor disbelieves it, but I believe it for sure because I've had a lot of other validations.
Like what?
Like when I had to come back to I'm back to Indore. I'm from Delhi. Then I got married in Indore, and then I went to Delhi for a few years. And then when I had to come back to Indore, what happened? My children were in school, and I just dropped them off. And sometimes I was like, okay, I'll just drive for after school because I'm not working. So I said, I'll just take a random drive wherever I feel like going, So, and I was going straight on the road, and I drove back. And then I went, uh, I was driving like straight on the road afterwards. And then I said that some instinct told me, okay, no, you just go back. There was a cut over there, just go down that cut. And then I followed my inner voice, like I said sometimes. So I followed that and I went down and I came upon a little temple. Again, it was, and there also I found a depilated um, statue of Shivji, you know, and it was like all dilapidated. There was no color on it. The color was coming off. So I said, oh, I must get this painted. So I said, I thought I'll contribute some paint and get that painted. It was a small statue. It wasn't a very big statue. And there were no trees there. There was a tree, but there was no flowers or there was nothing over there. And it was outdoors and there was nobody there. And I just bent down and I prayed. I said, okay, Shivji, is my thing over now? Will I be with my husband soon now? And a flower fell on me. And there was no flower, there was nothing. So, I've had a few more experiences with the supernatural, I'd say. And so I've had like not one, I've had a few more, but even more than this. Like I went for a meditation retreat for 10 days to a place once. And when I came back, I was like crying so many times, and my brother understood it. He says, these are tears of love, right? I said, yeah, Gurpreet, there's nothing but love, So that's the message even I got home, that there is nothing but love. We all are one, you know,
Yes.
which, so it's just, we're just here in a school. Like what you talk about all the time in
Yeah.
your, what all these NDEs
Right.
experience
Right.
and get back that message. I mean, I've seen this theme in your messages repeating again and again and again. And that's what I got back to
That's
with
great.
that 10-day retreat. It was so beautiful. But to stay in that zone, I feel I need to go every year because it takes, your life does take a toll and you get out of that phase. But
Right.
yeah, you do that. Your videos really help me to stay in that zone.
Oh, well, I'm glad thank you for watching them. Before I go, I would like to have some more. I've had a few guests from India who've had an NDE, but if you ever know anybody who has an NDE in India and would be willing to share, please tell them to contact me, because I would love to have a guest, especially someone from India who on the other side, they saw Shiva or Hindu gods or Sikh, or Sikh related NDE. I think that would be real fascinating.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of that yet, but I will let you know. And even I was wondering, I said, there's no Indian yet on your show, so it'll be nice to have somebody.
I've had 3.
You've had 3 Indian people?
Yeah. I guess you
I haven't
seen
seen those.
One of them was Dr. Santosh, and I think he was from South India on the ocean. I can't remember where he was from. And then I had another woman that I can't remember where she's from, but she is Christian and lives in India. She's Indian but Christian. Some are Indian, or practice Christianity. So hers is kind of a more of a Christian-based NDE, but she is Indian from India. And I thought I had one more, and I'm pretty sure I have. I just can't remember. But from what I understood, at least from Dr. Santosh, is that people who do have NDEs in India do not tell anybody about it because they're afraid of people thinking they're crazy. They keep quiet about that. And he was telling me his wife was telling him, don't tell anybody.
No, in India, some people believe that you are supposed to keep that good or whatever inside you, and that is how it grows. And that is your experience and it's for you. But there was another experience I had, if I'll share. Like I had a wart on my nail over here. I had like all green. It was all green here and everything. And this was many, many years back when my child was just born. So it was like 25 years ago. And so and and I had a few more warts, which I had shown to the my doctor and all, and they said you'll have to have medicines for it. And this one I had got cauterized in my nail, the one I had on my thumb. I had got it cauterized. But it came back with a vengeance, and it was green. My thumb was half green, and I used to feel very disgusted, because I was breastfeeding at that time, and I felt, it was so ugly, and it's not nice to have it. So I went once to my Babaji's room. I don't pray regularly. I'm not like a regular. I don't regularly say do my part morning, evening, night like people do. But I believe in God. So I went to Babaji's room. I said, I don't know, God, how much I will need to have faith in you, and I don't know how much I will need like blind faith in God. Because my family is very practical, so sometimes they believe in it, sometimes they did. So it was like, but if you, I'll just ask for a miracle. Show me a miracle, and get my remove my warts, and remove these warts, and remove all some other body part warts that I had. Remove those, but leave one under my arm that has been there, and leave that little. It was tiny one, and the others, just remove everything from my body. And I forgot about it, Jeff. And I was, going for parties. We had a very active social life. Like, we used to go out and party twice a week. We were drinking. We were enjoying ourselves. We were doing everything. And I behaved absolutely normally. I was a non-vegetarian at that time, and was leading a normal life. And I just completely forgot about this. After a few days, after 15 days, I saw it's reducing. I said, Bunty, I don't know how it's become less. And that time also it didn't strike me. After a few days, when it really became very little and there was nothing, practically, it went away. Then I told my husband, I said, oh my God, I had said this, and I had prayed for this, and this is what happened. And all of them went away, Jeff, except that one under my arm.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, so that is what happened. And I had asked at that time, okay, should I share my story? And
Mhm.
I had got the message in my head that you must share it, because that will increase people's faith
Right.
and that's what is needed in this world, to increase faith in love, in the positive, in God, and this, to send out the message that this is a school. This is not, and you are going to be faced with difficulties, because this is a school that you have
Yes.
to learn to,
Yeah, that's great. I appreciate
and
you
you feel
sharing
safe.
with us, and I'm sorry I have to run. I've got 2 people waiting on me, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming and sharing, and don't be a stranger.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
You too. All right, Mr. Cake. I was wondering if he was going to show up this evening, and he's here. So good for us. Good for us that he made it. And he is showing up. He's about to be here. He's almost here. There he is.
Hello, darling. It's nice to see you again.
Hello, nice to see you, Mr.
I just
Cake.
got over from the Star Wars universe. So uncivilized over there. Everyone has a lightsaber. It's not fun. Lose your limb.
What moon were you on?
Tatooine, darling. It's wonderful out there.
I hear it's hot this time of the year.
Very hot, but I cool down in the fans. Run lots of fans with me.
Well, I'm glad you made it. I was, as I said earlier, I was wondering. I haven't seen Steven tonight. Is he going to show? But you are here. You are our most dedicated contributor.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. I like to get out now. So I used to be a deficient human being. I kind of talked about this, and then God gave me all these gifts, so I can just go up and talk to people, and I bless them, and I say, God bless you, have a great day. That's what I do. And then I'm a one with God juggler. So when you see me juggling, it's like you're seeing God do it. Because I said we need a holy person who entertains, not an entertainer who's holy.
Right. That's a good way to put it. And
thank you. I love everyone in the comments. I love you. Love you all.
Everybody loves you, and your hair looks great today. You've got it all poofed up.
Thank you, darling.
For some reason, I feel you just remind me of James Bond. Have you ever done James Bond?
No, but I do Sean Connery. It was in a movie called Octopussy. I can tell you there was 8 things in that movie. One of them was me.
You can start.
We named the dog Indiana. We named the cat Pussy Galore.
So I heard the big announcement this week that you are running for president in 2024.
Let me tell you something, folks. We are coming back. We're doing it, folks. We got to do it. We got to do it, folks. We can't let the country go down the tubes. Turn it into a crap hole, folks. We're not going to let that happen, folks. We are coming back. Number one, I might be old, folks, but I will take whatever pills I need to take to get it done. We are going to get it done.
So is there anything new on the possibility of you returning home? You know, a month ago, you might be returning home.
So I did talk to my brother for a little bit, and
cool.
He's more open-minded.
Right.
But he lives out in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
See, my parents, the problem is they won't pray, and they won't, I call it, bow or bend the knee to Mary. They got to say, God, what do you need? What's the right way? Tell me the right way, because people are trying to do it their way. That's what they explained to me, because I had conversation with God about this, and they said either people are trying to do it their own way, and that causes division, it causes pain and suffering and headbutting and bad relationships and stuff. And so they want everyone praying, just say, God, help me with this problem, help me with the podcast, help me with whatever it is, your relationships or your what clothes you wear. Like they want to get in your life in every single little thing. They want to get in there so they can help you, because they love you. They're loving parents, and they just want to help you, so that it starts a ripple effect. So that now that you're helped, now that you're feeling loved, you're going to want to go out and help people. If you feel down, you feel dejected, you're going to want to just sit in a room like I did. Just sit there and I love helping people. I love when I see people light up. I love when I see their smile. Mm-hmm. I love when they're having a great day.
Well, you know what you're so good at is doing that, making people happy, and, through either entertaining or just, being kind to people. And that apparently, if you talk to NDEs, that scores big points. It's just the simple kind things that you do to people or for people. And I think you're good at that.
Yeah, and it adds up. Yeah, this is what I've noticed, is that when people run things, like they're running a business, they're running a church, they're running a website, they say, I want to do it my way. They don't go, God, is this right? See, they said they like my attitude because I'm always going to defer back. Is this okay? Is this okay, God? I'm always going to defer back to them. So whenever you see fighting, division, I call it head button, spinning the wheels, it's because they're trying to do it their own way. Mm-hmm. So I went into churches, and they say, hey, we love Jesus, but get the heck out of here, Steve. Wow. I said, what about loving your neighbor and being loving and stuff? And they go, get out of here.
Is your 40 days?
I get kicked out of.
Is your 40 days completed?
No, it's like ramped up. It's like getting worse. Yeah, right now they I don't even know if I can talk about this, but they have like an energy switch on me. So if I'm not doing loving acts, they turn the knob down, and I feel miserable, and I can barely move. But when I'm doing loving acts, they say, we're going to just give you energy. So right now they're pumping me up with energy. They're giving it to me, so I can just go around and say, God bless you. I hope everyone has a great day. Just tell people, hey, have a great day. Just do things out of whatever you do, out of love, out of kindness. You don't have to go up to people. That's my job. Like Jesus had a different job. His job was to go around, talk to the people at the bottom. That was not other people's job. That was his job. And they said, why are you doing it? Like, that's his job. Go around the love. So I could be, I talked to God about that. I could be a comedian, but it's a lot of work because you have to craft everything. You have to craft your jokes. So I'm good at my imagination. My thinking is just like, I'm just going all the time. Like, but I'm kind of into video games. So I'll just like, whenever I have a little bit of time, I just start, here's a great idea. Here's a great idea. Yeah. I love jokes. Love comedy.
As far as I understand, you know,
I love the absurd.
I think comedians, they appear to be so spontaneous, but they've actually rehearsed their act like 1,000 times before you actually see them perform.
It takes a lot of crafting.
Yeah.
What I like to do is kind of like off the cuff thing. So I'll just take like, Marty, I just got back from 1985. Ted Turner is now the executive for Ted Turner Entertainment. Not Fifth County anymore. I'm sorry, there's people making it here.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm 40 years old. Yeah, if you want to talk about synchronicity, my number was 39 when I played goalie in high school. And I always wonder if that had significance. And when I was 39, that's when God stepped in. That's when my whole life totally did a 180.
That's interesting to think about. Do you have... I'm assuming you saw the podcast the other day about synchronicities, and we were talking about when they keep coming, do you take action?
Yeah, here's another thing is that we all have an intuition. It's just that our levels of how we hear it. So it's when you have, I say an awakened third eye, it just means that I hear the voice. If God wants to tell me something, they'll just tell. So but like I said, so 40 days. So I was praying. I was down at this parade. I was like, you know, God, just tell me where to go. Cause like, I don't know where I'm going. I just asked a guy for a ride downtown. Like, this is what I do now. I just go up to people and just, hey, you're going somewhere? Like, so I'm totally different than before.
Can you give me a ride?
Yeah. You going somewhere? You know, maybe I can go downtown.
There was one other thing I wanted to ask you. What were you going to say?
Oh, someone want to hear Christopher Walken. We need more cowbell on the show. Jeff, I love the show, but what you need is more cowbell. Ring the bell.
Do you think you can tell jokes while juggling?
Yeah, I can. I usually, like I said, I usually like the off the cuff, you know, just kind of spur the moment. Like, we're just going to do some singing and dancing here. So just sit back and enjoy it. So that's what I like to do, just off the cuff. But like I said, with the gifts, when you're gifted, it just flows. It just happens. Like, it doesn't take energy and effort. So it used to take energy and effort to do these impressions. Like when I did Donald Trump, folks, it took a lot of energy. I had to put it in, I was trying to master it, but now it just happens. Same with the little girl. So when I'm doing a very serious woman, it's very natural for me. But women,
I would like. And did you
get it? Do they?
Have you ever seen Coffee Talk on Saturday Night Live? He's frozen. He'll be back shortly, I think. Are you there? Are you back?
Yes, I can. It's like I can hear you.
Oh,
but
I just, yeah, you just totally freeze on my end, and then I don't hear you either. You're just like, you're striking a pose. And then you're frozen. Now you're back.
Yeah, it's where I live. They don't care about.
We had
I love playing video games, and you can't play them.
Oh, we had a pretty good run tonight. You were pretty, we had pretty good internet, and there was no background noise tonight. So we did pretty well.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful podcast we have on here. We got Jeff and Mara and a wonderful audience. Just like Bedford Falls and my friend Barney or Harvey.
Now, have you had any luck finding a woman?
they said they would take care of it. And they kind of explained about how, we're all looking for different stuff. And want relationships that are mutual. So like you're fulfilling their needs and, so the mutual, you've been married, so you would know about that. It's got to be mutual instead of one-sided. And, and that's why you need God in there, because they're going to make sure you're in a good relationship.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. Well, Stephen, I have 2 people waiting and I'm in overtime. So I got to do what I got to do.
What you got to do, man? We're going to write some songs, yeah, but, you can carry on, man. Do what you got to do.
I love you guys. I love
Thank
everyone.
You, Stephen. We love you. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Take care. He's gone. All right, Shira's next. And we've had a pretty busy night, which is great. Asked to start video. And Tina is after Shira. Oh, she doesn't have any audio yet. She's connecting. Shira. Hey Shira.
Sorry.
How's it going? You got...
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. What were those things called that we had? I was saying, where's your coffee and your waffle on top?
Oh, I ate them all. Did you try it?
Yeah, we have them. I told you we have that big box of them.
Yeah, but did you try it on top of the coffee?
Yeah, I did. My wife, I think my wife
changes the taste of the waffle. It like crisp it up and it's waffly like, not so cookie.
I was going to say, if you're not careful, I think she left hers and maybe walked away from her desk and it melted it and fell inside the coffee.
Oh, well, that's good too if you dunk them in the coffee.
You have to be attentive to your waffle.
Yeah. I have a question for everyone, and I sent you a message on Messenger.
Okay.
I think that you missed it. But anyway, there was a girl this week that said that God told her to put on glasses, and they were the size of a small car.
I kind of remember that.
That had glasses on.
I remember that vaguely. Please forgive me, everybody, just because since doing a show every single day, it's just hard for me to remember all the details.
Well, my question is, I think maybe it might have been Peter Panagori or somebody.
Peter, he wasn't on this week. I mean, I've had Peter on twice, but it's been a year probably since I've seen him.
My question to everyone is, hasn't he or somebody else had that same experience where they saw glasses that were like the size of a small car, and when they put them on, they fit perfectly?
Yeah, it's interesting. I remember that. I don't remember who the guest was or what her NDE or what we were talking about, but I remember that, exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and so maybe it was on another channel. I've watched thousands of NDEs, but I'm almost positive it was this week's guest, and it was the gal that she has glasses on. And she said God told her to put these glasses on. She thought, how can I do that? They're the size of a small car. And she put them on, they fit perfectly. And I was like, there's somebody else that had that experience. Who was it? And I thought maybe you guys might have remembered who that was.
I don't know, but I think that was either number 640 or 639 was the ones. That was Pia or Amy. And was it the girl that she's in Canada and her car went off the mountain? It went down the mountain?
Yeah, and I think so. Yeah, and she wears glasses.
Might have been wearing glasses too.
Here.
Yeah, I think that was number 640.
And a question I wondered was how she got back up the mountain. I always have questions, and usually you ask them, and I'm like, "Good catch, Jeff. There you go."
Yeah. Yeah,
was so weird.
that was an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know if you were here from the beginning, but I was saying earlier today what I found fascinating, and somebody, which I'm going to post tomorrow, I never thought about it until he pointed it out, that he says a life review is time traveling. You're actually going back and witnessing it in real
Wow.
time in the past, basically. But that's his
Wow.
experience. I mean, some of the other NDE guests say that like they see it on a screen. So
If you listen to like PBS has a quantum physics series, and it's done by Dr. Stephen something. But if you just went PBS quantum physics series, and they're like an hour, 2 hours long, there's like 3 or 4. But if you listen to that and then go back and you can listen online on YouTube audio, the Book of Enoch, and he's talking about these wormholes that are on each corner of the universe, and
interesting.
he's going from one place to another in his visions. And just by having that little minimum understanding of quantum physics, it helps you to understand what the Book of Enoch is talking about.
Interesting. Have you read the Book of Enoch?
I haven't read it, but I've listened to the audiobook twice.
I had
And
sorry. I was going to say I had a guest recently that said Enoch was abducted by a UFO.
yeah, that guest that said UFOs in the Bible.
Right. We were going through all the different I think he's narrowed it down to 45 different UFO experiences in the Bible, and that one, and I think he said Elijah was also, those are 2 of them that he said were
In the
alien
Jewish
abduction.
sacred text, it talks about aliens and other worlds, and how there's 7 worlds below the earth, and few of them can come to the surface of the earth. Others, they don't have a sun, or they do have a sun. I have them written down. It's very interesting.
That would be good. Maybe you can get us, maybe next week you can tell us from the Jewish ancient texts, share with us something UFO related. That's actually from the text.
This is
Is this like, are you saying this is from the Torah or the Talmud or something else, like one of the books of the Kabbalah?
This is, the different worlds are from the Zohar and the Talmud, and UFOs and aliens are in the Torah and the Zohar. I talked about on our interview about the phoenix bird that explodes itself every 1,000 years. There is on YouTube Rabbi Tahan, Tahan, and I took notes off one of his videos. It's like an hour, and his videos called like mermaids, fire salamanders, phoenix, golems. Golems you can create, like they're soulless beings. And in the Torah it said Abraham left. This is when he was leaving his original home, not Samaria. Anyway, it said Abraham took all that he owned, and the simple understanding of that, without going into the Gemara, which is the Talmud, that he took golems, that you can create these, it's Kabbalah. So yeah, I have that, all notes on all that. So
cool. Yeah, maybe you can share something with us next week.
Yeah,
you can kind of like read the text and then explain it to us. And what not today, but maybe next week. Well, you can read the text and then you can say, well, the text means this. See, that shows that it's a UFO or whatever. That would be pretty cool.
You were talking about in one of your this week's videos about interacting in dreams, and you said, wouldn't that be cool if things actually happened? But anyway, my dad, who saw ghosts in the house, saw a UFO, couldn't get my brother out quick enough. He was a lawyer, and at that time, lawyers had to go downtown with the bail bondsman. We're talking about like 80s, and get the person would get out of jail. You had to have your lawyer and your bail bondsman. Well, Dad used a guy named Howard, and he was an older black guy. Had something weird with his eyes. Maybe they were blue or one was blind, but anyway. So he and Howard were great friends. I think they drank bourbon while they were waiting on whoever to get out of jail. I mean, and we went to several parties at his house. Um, so Howard died. And Dad said that Howard came to him, and he ended up coming to him several times in a dream. But Dad said this wasn't a foggy dream. This was like real. He was sitting at a table, and Howard comes in and says, Wayne, my son Leonard is on drugs, and I need for you to help get him off of drugs. And Dad said, Howard, what do you want me to do? He's not going to listen to me. Howard said, just talk to him. Please, Wayne, please. Leonard ended up dying from drugs. And Dad, both times that he had this experience, said, I don't feel comfortable here. I drink alcohol and I'm telling Leonard not to do drugs. I mean, it's not going to relate. He never thought, I don't know if he actually tried or not. But anyway, he and Howard had this dream of poops and a slap on the butt, like football players used to do, slap on the butt, getting off the team, like high five. So Dad said he was out, and you had to take a screwdriver to get these weeds out of the yard. They're weeds with a jagged edge. And now if you look, you can pull those down and pull it again. And it's like the strongest pain relief on earth are these weeds in your yard. So Dad's taking a screwdriver and he's getting out all these weeds throughout the yard. We have pristine home and bushes and everything. And all of a sudden, Dad smelt this huge hoot. And then this huge slap on his butt. And he knew that Howard was there. So it's amazing what they can do on the other side to not just manipulate, like, moving a cup across the table, but they can actually do things that you can see or feel or smell.
Yeah, you're right.
So.
Well, Shira, I got to run. I got the next person waiting, but maybe we'll see you back next week.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Have
all right. Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. And we've got Tina. So she heard me at some point talking about Bigfoot. I wonder if she went and saw the video before she is joining us. But Tina has had a Bigfoot contact, and she's had about 2 or 3 NDEs. So we'll see what she's up to. I haven't seen her in about a month. Tina, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, did you check out that video?
Which video?
I posted a video of Bigfoot sighting on my JeffMara Facebook page.
Oh, that's right. No, I haven't. I barely
curious
get
to
in
see
Facebook
what your
at all
take is.
anymore.
That I'm curious if you think it's real, or do you think it's somebody in a gorilla suit?
I will go check it out.
So you had an OBE this morning.
Yes,
What
I'm
happened?
sick. I'm in bed. I've got this tummy virus.
Ooh.
So, you'll have to excuse me, but yeah, I noticed that when I astral travel and have out of body experiences, a lot of times it's when my sleep is interrupted. And so I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning and couldn't get back to sleep. I stayed up for a little while. I might have nibbled on something. And then I was able to go back to sleep. And all of a sudden I was in another lifetime, like a parallel life or parallel universe, whatever. and there was nothing really significant going on. I was at my girlfriend's house, and I was walking through the kitchen, and as I was passing her mother, she was kind of like sitting by a wall at a table. She reached out with her hand, and I took her hand in mine, and as soon as that happened, sh- I felt a rush of energy going through my whole body to the point where my eyes were bugging out. It felt like a howling wind was just rushing through me, and she was talking to me in a language later when I was like meditating and thinking about it. And I know it was light language, but I didn't understand the words when she was saying them to me. Um,
What do you mean by light language?
I'm not sure what that is.
I mean,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
as if she's like a language of entities or angels or of like
Yeah,
star
something like
seeds.
that. Something like an angelic language. So I'll have to go. I don't know what light language is, but that's what I was thinking. That's what she was talking to me. So I wish I should have looked that up, but I've been so busy. Everybody in the house is sick,
Hmm.
and I've been taking care of them while I'm sick. So um anyways, so right as this is happening, and it feels good, but it's not like the God love kind of feeling. It's like it just feels good. It feels like, oh, I'm being filled up with something. And my cat started crying, and I woke up, and it was so hard. One of the guests was talking earlier about all the sensations you have when you're coming back in your body, and this would be synchronicity. Earlier today, I was watching a Dolores Cannon video, and she was talking about the silver thread that's connected, to our soul, to our body, and what the body does when it needs us back, it reels us in like we're a fish at the end of that silver string, and the process of that, reeling us in, we hear it. Like it's sometimes it's buzzing, it's a loud thundering in the ears, and there's sensations. I feel so heavy, uh, like I can't, like I'm almost paralyzed, like I can't quite move, I can't quite open my eyes. And this used to be what it was like when I would have what people call like you're paralyzed, you have a night terror.
Like sleep paralysis.
Yes, yes. And but that started when I was younger, when I was about 18, and I had made the intention to not go into fear when that happens. And not, just be neutral, because every time it happened, even though I would see horrible, scary, frightening things, nothing actually happened to me. And so I decided next time it happens, I'm just going to be neutral about it. And that's when I began astral traveling. So the next time it happened, I just calmed myself down, and I went with it, and time traveled, and all kinds of cool stuff. But so after the cat woke me up this morning, I had the feeling that if I wanted to lay back down, I had to open the door and let her in my room. If I wanted to go back into that dimension or reality or whatever, I could go back there. And because I wasn't quite all the way here, that's why I was feeling so heavy and odd. I wasn't all the way in my body. But that's when I felt the presence of one of my girlfriends telling me it's not a good idea. And um, so I kind of went with that and listened to that, and I just thought, uh, because I'm so sick, and I've been having a lot of anxiety with this virus. Sometimes coming back, um, it can go sideways. You know what I mean? Like it can be unpleasant coming back. the sleep paralysis stuff can happen, and that's no fun. So I decided just to stay awake and not go back into it. But other times that has happened where it's been interrupted, astral travel's been interrupted or something like that. And I lay back down. I know I could go back into it, and I do.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, Tina, thanks for coming and sharing with us. And maybe I'll see you next week, and we can give us your opinion.
Okay, I just wanted you guys to.
Oh, did you paint that?
That's a painting by Cindy Carter.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, his name's Various. She sent that to me.
Oh, that's awesome.
But she paints Sasquatch and Yeti and sketches them too. And she can sketch you to look like a Sasquatch.
Oh, wow. That would be pretty crazy. That would be I'm going to have to maybe get her to do that. That'll be me as a Sasquatch on a t-shirt with JeffMara Podcast.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I would get the mug too.
Yeah. Well, Tina, thanks again for sharing with us. I hope you get well very soon, and have a great rest of your weekend.
You too. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. So that was a busy night. It was a very thanks again for sharing with us. I hope busy night tonight. And we went overtime, so that was cool. So again, if you want to be a part of the Facebook, on Discord, you can join. The link is down below. It's free to join Discord. All you have to do is sign up. It's free to sign up, and then you use my link to get into my rooms, or they call servers. And that's about it. I will not. For those who live in the U.S., I wish you guys and hope you have a happy Thanksgiving and have a great time. And for the rest of you, I hope, and for everybody else and everybody in general, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you said that. I forgot about that. I want to say thank you very much for the super thanks donation to Tina. Tina, if you're still here, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. And so yeah, you guys have a great week, and I hope you will enjoy all the videos coming for you this week. And thank you all for joining us tonight. We wish you the best. God bless you. We love you. Happy Thanksgiving and good night.